Clara's workers with Caesar remembered in a special way. One remembrance was that night he sat up all night down the Bishop's restaurant in order that black people and white people could sit down together. He was known as a black businessman, used his voice for the furtherance of brotherhood. Yes, it was Caesar L. Williams' day on Tuesday. But on Wednesday, it was a sit-inner's day. August 19th, 1958. 13 young people went to Cat's drugstore. And that was a day that it was celebrated in a unique way due to the vision of Mrs. Gloria Matthews. 10 different salads portrayed the dreams of these young people, which was an extended dream. It was a dream of people that wanted to be free. Mrs. Gloria Matthews and Mrs. Bosley Walker had everything ready. It was beautiful. It was held in the Johnson Shardina's Daycare Center. On Thursday, it was the President's Day, a day to remember. But last night, it was Letty Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, and Lillian Oliver's day. A beautiful outside fashion show. A fashion show that features some of the most beautiful clothes that you will ever want to see. Oh, there were some models. There were some models. I wish you could have been there. I wish you could have seen Cramisha Cross and the other young people. I wish you could have seen Gloria Matthews. Oh, I wish you could have seen a model that I know is listening to me now. And last night she selected green, Mrs. Dillard. It was a show to remember. The coronation was here. And I know that Nancy Letty will call and tell us the Queen and the King. But today is Clara Luper's day, and that's your day. And speaking of Clara Luper's day, that is the day that you will have the opportunity to eat all of the catfish that you want. Catfish will go on sale today at 10:45 at Freedom Center with a good old peach cobbler with beans or with potato salad all day. And the catfish dinners are out of sight. And I want you to come there and get your catfish dinner. There will be an open house at Freedom Center. You will get to see exactly what we are doing and what we are talking about. Because so many times you can't describe it because it's just not describable. I want you to come up there and get the feel of Freedom Center. That will be pop. And if you're going to buy some pop today, be sure and buy it at Freedom Center. Oh, it's going to be something to remember. But tonight, it will be the dinner that I've told you about. That $100 plate dinner, that $50 plate dinner, and that $25 plate dinner. That dinner will be held at Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. You will be surprised when you walk into Freedom Center tonight. Now, that dinner is at 7 o'clock. We will stop selling catfish at 5 o'clock. So those of you that are getting that catfish dinner, you will have to get it before 5 o'clock. And remember, the parade starts this morning at exactly 10 a.m. And it will go from Pitts Park to Lottie. And from Lottie, it will go north and north on 23rd. It will turn and go east to Martin Luther King, and from Martin Luther King it will go to 2609 North Martin Luther King to Freedom Center, and there you can eat catfish. Isn't that exciting? Doesn't that move you? But you will be doing more than eating catfish. You will be doing more. You will be helping to finish the job, because I have a dream that we are going to finish that Black History Monument. I have a dream that we're going to finish that Freedom Garden with all of its flowers and trees. I have a dream that you're going to do it. I think you're going to do that for me, because many of you out there say you love me so. Well, prove your love to me, baby. Don't wait until I die and come in crying and pretending how much you love me. Prove it, or else. Well, today is Clara Luper's day, and people are getting ready for the parade and what have you. You may call me 672-1220, and all I want you to tell me is you're going to be with me today. That's all I want to hear today. And I want you to do it. Okay. Clara Luper's Day. Hello?
Morning, Clara.
Yes.
This is Luper Baker.
Yes.
And congratulations on your day.
Well, thank you. Now, my day is your day, Miss Baker. Now, you know how you've been with me all the time. Clara Luper's name is just a symbol.
That is great. But the point is, I thought maybe I didn't want to talk on the air, but I said you are the cause of J.C. Watts being able to go to Oklahoma OU.
No, don't give me all that credit. That credit goes to the NACP, to hundreds of people.
He said he did it on his merits.
Oh, don't. Let me tell you something.
You couldn't depend on him, and I voted for him, and I thought the way he got in was he was going to take care of us.
You didn't like his speech in front of the world?
I sure didn't.
Okay.
Depend on him, and I thought he said he was going to help us when he got in office.
But did he help you? Aren't you one of those Bush fans?
Oh, Lord, don't say that. Never.
Okay.
I'm sick of this Republican Party. This is 12 years of them, and I'm sick of it.
Well, you aren't sick of me. That's why you're going to come up there and get some catfish today, okay? And get out and see that parade.
All right, the point is, I sure didn't want your opinion on his speech the other night.
Well, I'm going to give you my opinion not only on his speech, but on Bush's speech.
Okay, well, I'm going to hang up so I can go here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, and goodbye.
Bye-bye, darling.
And I love you.
I love you, too.
Bye, baby.
Okay, I want you to tell me that you love me, because I don't want you to wait till I die and then come up there. Oh, I remember Clara Luper. Oh, I don't want all that stuff. I want you to step up there today and say, I don't want any catfish, but I will give a penny to help finish this monument. It's not how much you give, it's your attitude toward giving. Clara Luper. Hello? Now, someone's on the line. Don't be playing no jokes on me. You're there. Okay. Well, anyway, you're wishing that I won't do it, but I can tell you something. As I just heard on the show that preceded me, God hadn't brought me this far to leave me. We aren't this close. We have paid for the ground. We have paid for the building. We have 246 stones that represent the 246 years that blacks were in slavery. But on those stones you will find the fact that even though blacks were oppressed, they made progress. It's nothing like us, black people, and I hate to say this, black people are so smart until they can take nothing and make something out of it. Take guts and make chitlins, take hog heads and make hog head cheese. What a people. All today is Clara Luper's Day, which symbolizes the people that have worked in order that black people and white people can sit down together. Clara Luper. Hello? Well, what's wrong out here, Dean? We're experts. Hello? Hello?
Are you there?
Okay, don't worry, we're having a little technical problem, and somebody's trying to wish me bad luck. Honey, do you realize that you can wish all you want to, but the Lord has not brought us this far in symbolizing people to remember. Ain't gonna leave us alone, because we're gonna look at that monument, and we're gonna remember Frank Cox, who ran for the United States House, who ran for the State House of Representatives when all odds were against him. I remember when we got up early one morning and put up signs, only to find out that our signs had been removed before 7 o'clock. We want you to remember, and we want you to know the stories of these people. Martin Luther King's name now stands proudly in front of the post office on Northeast 24th Street that used to be Cimarron. It was a celebration, and I wish you could have seen it. Oklahoma City's Cimarron Station was renamed and rededicated this week to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That post office is a symbol of moral and social progress. And Martin Luther King left a legacy that continues to inspire a wealth of social cause. It was a day to remember. And I would like for you to just go by Martin Luther King Jr., and I would like for you to just look and see what could happen. There are no words in which I could have expressed my appreciation for the leaders of the postal system to give me an opportunity to speak on this occasion. Our only history will be able to record my gratitude. The years will roll in history, just like the yesterdays did. And each day a city of people will be reminded that only in America could a post office be named after the descendant of slaves. We dedicated that post office on August the 19th at 1 o'clock. We dedicated it because it will serve as a proper recognition of the contributions that Martin Luther King Jr. made to America. He expressed the demands of black Americans for social justice and created an arena where white Americans could stand up for justice and be counted. It was a day to remember. This is Clara Luper's day. Hello? But we're having some problems. Hello?
Oh there, Mrs. Luper. How are you this morning? And congratulations upon you having Clara Luper Day today.
I love it. I want all my flowers while I live.
Well, you deserve them, and I want you to know that we are real proud of the progress that we've made through the NAACP and through your hard work.
Through our hard work now. And let's not get... When you say Clara Luper, you're talking about all of you that have worked. Because my name is only a symbol. I'm not crazy. I don't think that I have done that much. I think I have done my part on a team. It's a team, and that team is important because now you have people that's getting ready to fry catfish. You have people that's getting ready to buy. That's the team. And Clara Luper's name symbolizes those people. Tell me who your queen and king were last night.
Well, first of all, Mrs. Luper, I want to say thanks to everybody who made the fashion show a great success for the Nancy Davis, Lady Connor, and Lillian Oliver fashion show for the Freedom Fiesta of 1992. We had so many people to contribute, but at the last minute, I had the lovely Mrs. Downs, who lives here, the Carrying Downs' mother, and we had Mrs. Betty Irvin, Rosetta Coleman, and Myrna McKee, who came by my house and gave us music for that particular fashion show last night. And I want to say that those people who missed the fashion show, they missed the most beautiful fashion show, with all the exotic fashions and the vivacious people. And boy, we had the crowning of the king, and the queen and our little queen was so beautiful. Keisha and Carnegie. And then the first runner-up was Christian and Cole. And we had a king there, and he was handsome. That Mr. Chris Cox. Oh my goodness, and Mr. Lionel there. But those models and the narrators, they were out of sight too. I shall never just saying thanks to Shelley Marie Luper, our narrator, and to those who participated in Marvin like Alicia, Cold Sales. Oh, wasn't she a beautiful child? Oh, Mrs. Bill had a dressed up in all those different dresses. And then we had Mrs. Gloria Matthews, who really stole the show. And Mrs. Leola Hannah, Mrs.
Dillard,
Cole, Melania Bennett, and Lois DeMille. Oh, I want to tell you, Mrs. Luper, that I received a call from California that I will go in for Dundee. Lois Arbo DeMille came. And we want to tell all the Dundee kids to be in prayer for Lois DeMille and for her family, Tracy Arbo, and all of the Arbo family. That was just a big blow to us. But we want to know, we want everybody to know that we love Dundee, even though Dundee does not exist now. And the Dundee people are working hard with us in the Freedom Fiesta. Understand that one of our students will be in charge of the parade today, Maxine Williams. So we are real proud of Dundee. Dundee will forever live.
Okay, thank you so very kindly. And Lois Arbo was in my homeroom, and we extend our sympathy to the family. This has been a heartbreaking week. It was a week in which we saw Dr. Gott laid to rest. Not only that, my neighbor, Mrs. Taylor, one of the founders of the Woods Neighborhood Association. Then we saw Michael Pollard, who had played such a vital part in our lives. I was his teacher when he organized a choir, a gospel choir at John Marshall High School. He participated in the Soul Bazaar and became Mr. Talent USA. Seen him grow up. And then it was a sad goodbye on Tuesday. Hundreds of people gathered to say goodbye to Michael Pollard. Michael Pollard will always live in the hearts, souls of the people that loved him so dearly. Then on Thursday at 11 o'clock at the 5th Street Missionary Baptist Church, it was goodbye to Mrs. Willie I.D. Dotson, well known throughout the United States, well known for her work in her church, in her community, the past loyal lady ruler, imperial commandress, which served more than 1,500 members throughout the United States, the imperial high priestess, the Imperial National Foundation Coordinator, and Imperial Oriental Guide. Oh, she was somebody. And I remember a few weeks ago, she gave me a picture of herself because I've asked people for pictures. And I said, Mrs. Dotson, we will put this picture at Freedom Center. And in years to come, young people will come here and say, once upon a time, there was a person that cared enough to share her experiences with all of us, Mrs. Dotson. And I know that if each one of those individual families had the opportunity to talk to all of you today, they would just say thank you, including the Campbell family and others. They would say thank you. But this is Clara Luper's day. And I know how you are. I've never asked you for a cigarette. I've never asked you for a drink of anything, but I'm asking you now to help us finish the job. I would like to announce tonight at the Clara Luper dinner that you did your part. And I don't want you telling me what you can't do. I want you to tell me what you're going to do. If you can't contribute $100 to this monument, you can contribute $1, and $1 make $100. Congratulations comes from the Crossroad Chrysler, located I-240 at South Walker. If you want a new car, if you want to see a business that's growing, I want you to go out to Crossroad Chrysler. Let me repeat that. Crossroad Chrysler, I-240 in South Walker. You don't have to call out there. You're having car trouble. Don't worry. Go out to I-240 and South Walker. Congratulations, Clara Luper. Dr. A.L. Dial. Now, Dr. Dial knows that he's part of today's celebration, contributing to the sit-in movement, marching along with his children and his wife. This is your day, Dr. A.L. Dial. Dr. Dial, congratulations on your day. And those of you that need glasses next week, call 235-0536 and ask for Dr. A.L. Dial. Who's smiling today any more than Mr. Gates of Gates Barbershop? Mr. Gates is really happy. This is a one day of the year in which he looks out there and he sees people from all directions. And I want you all to park. Don't all of you park in front of Freedom Center when we get back. Go over and park on the Gloria Matthews Thompson Shardina's Daycare Center in that lot. Be sure and park there. But Mr. Gates probably is the happiest man in Oklahoma City. He's happy because every day he goes by that monument, by Freedom Center, and he prays, God, let us finish it. I want to finish it. I want to see it finished in my lifetime. This is what I want to see. This is my prayer. Oh, God, give the workers strength. Give them the courage not to become discouraged. Give them the energy to finish the job. Yes, Mr. Gates. This is your day, because you've been on that battlefield a long time. As we look through our history, we saw in 1958 when you were there. You have never forgotten us. And today, as Al Corain paints the history of our people, you will be there smiling. You will be rejoicing. And yesterday, when you saw that picture of those little children marching, so the big shots, the affluent, the so-called affluent black people can enjoy the blessings. You saw it, and you were happy. And those of you that want to look good today, I want you to go by Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. And someone called and asked me if he cuts a lady's hair. Yes. Go by. Mr. Gamble is there too. That's Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. And those of you that are coming, we would like for you to just look inside that barbershop. We want you to look at the flowers on the outside. We just want you to look. That's Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Congratulations, Clara Luper from Sir Charles Taylor. I appreciate that because the Woods boys have always been part of the sit-in movement, and we are hoping to see them today. That's Sir Charles the Taylor, located right in at 1024 South Douglas. Sir Charles the Taylor. Congratulations, Clara Luper, on your day. Well, thank you. And this comes from Danny M. Dahl and the people at Hometown IGA, where you can buy groceries 24 hours, and you can also look for the special bargains. You can look for those bargains in your local newspaper, and you can go in the store and ask them, where are those bargains? And they will give you a sheet with all of the bargains on it. That's Hometown IGA. That will be a good place to stand and watch the parade today, and after the parade, go in shopping, and then come on up to Freedom Center and get your catfish dinner. It's catfish time. If you're thinking of a nursing home, I want you to think in terms of Edwards Redeemer, 1530 Northeast Grand Boulevard in Oklahoma City. There, Mrs. Brown and her staff are waiting for you. They want you to see their facilities. They want you to see and experience a home away from home. That's Edwards Redeemer, 1530 Northeast Grand Boulevard in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. After you go to Edwards Redeemer, tell your friends about it. You know, we don't have the money to advertise like a lot of people. That's why we have to use what our forefathers used. The grapevine system, where you will tell one person, will tell you, and then you tell somebody else. That's not gossip. That's using that telephone system. Lamar Beauty Supply, located at 1736 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. There you can get all of your beauty supplies. You can get beauty supplies that will make you look good. If you're talking about something for your hair, and you beauticians, I want you to go to Lamar's Beauty Supply, 1736 Northeast 23rd. We have to be careful where we spend our money. We got to spend it where we can get something in return, where we can get involvement in our community, in the churches and other things. We cannot afford to stand by and watch our money continue to go somewhere else to help somebody else. Go to Lamar's Beauty Supply, 1736 Northeast 23rd Street, and tell them you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. I would like to thank those of you that went to Poor Boys Barbecue in the 7700 in North Martin Luther King Avenue. Now, if that address isn't right, I want you to look for that sign. Poor Boys Barbecue. Poor Boys Barbecue. Poor Boys Barbecue. Oh, what barbecue? Poor Boys Barbecue. Just drive on down to Kelly and get it. Once again, I want to remind you that Crossroads Chrysler and Plymouth are owned by a black man. Can you believe that? We've come a long ways. However, we still have a long ways to go. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I would like to thank you all for supporting me today. You say you're praying for me. I want you to pray that God will give you the strength to buy a catfish dinner or to leave a dime or a nickel. And if you aren't asking God to help you, help me. And when I say me, I'm talking about that whole crowd of NACP workers. Those are the hardest working people I have ever seen in my life. I have never seen anybody that works as hard as Gloria Matthews, Letty Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, Cheryl Fowler, Leola Ford. Oh, I've never seen anybody, anywhere, a team. And when you come up the other day and look at all that improvement, I want you to look at Calvin Whitaker, Nyla Phillips, Merlin Hildred. I just want you to look and see. I want you to look at C.P. Wilson. I want you to look at Nancy Davis. I want you to look at Darlene McLear. I want you to look in order that you can understand what hard work will do. Let me tell you, Sunday morning and afternoon, the women of the Northeast Missionary Baptist Church will celebrate their annual Women's Day. The theme for the occasion is Women Helping with God's Work. Added to the worship service will be the pastor's wife, Mrs. Eddie Youngblood, who will give the occasion. There will be special music by the women's chorus. In the afternoon, the welcome will be given by Mrs. Marie Tarver, that noted educator, and a solo by Mrs. Helen Sutton. But highlight in the afternoon program will be a special dramatic presentation of Women of the Bible. Chairwoman Julia Scobie will introduce a skit titled The Philippian Riverbank, which reveals the conversation among three women on the riverbank who was discussing reconciliation and unity. There will be a reception after the presentation. Mr. Wallace C. Youngblood is the pastor. Mrs. Scobie is the chairperson. Mrs. Juanita Perry is the president of the Women's Missionary Society. Senator E. Melvin Porter will speak on Sunday at the Quails United Methodist Church, Northeast to 50th and Everett at 4 o'clock p.m. It will be Doc Williams Day. That will be sponsored by Mrs. Salonia Bennett. Doc Williams was an NACP bondsman during the 60s. We cannot forget these people. We cannot forget these people. And I want your support. I want you to call me at 672-1220 and tell me that you are with me. I just want you to say, Clara, I'm with you. I'm going to come up there and I'm going to march with you this morning. And I'm going to get some catfish and I'm going to even come to your dinner this evening. Because tonight we are going to make a very important statement. Did you know Joyce Johnson Henderson will become the principal of the Star Spencer High School? She's all excited about it because she went to Dungy High School and she was in that fabulous Clara Luper homeroom and we didn't do nothing but win. And she's bringing that winning spirit to Star Spencer High School. Now on August the 30th, I want you to put this down. On August the 30th, between 2 and 4 p.m., she wants you to drop by and say hello to her. Welcome her home. There will be refreshments, and you will have the opportunity to meet Dr. Terry Miller, John Borelli, and Warren G. Gardner. Now, I wouldn't miss that for nothing. That is something. School starts on September 8, 1992, and with your support, they are going to have quite a year. This is going to be the best year in the history of Star Spencer. Now, the people are crying because she's leaving Northeast. Well, Dr. Robinson will be at Northeast. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I want you to go to the library this week because there's going to be some great things happening at the local library, especially in September. Betty Jean Germany told me that there will be art classes September the 5th through the 12th, November the 7th through the 14th. There will be room for preschools in grade 1 through 4. There will be art classes for age 13 to 18, and you are invited. There will be a general program, herbs, and what they can do for you. That's all at the Ralph Ellison's Library, 2000 Northeast 23rd. Hello? Hello? Yes, you're on the Clara Luper radio show. Talk. Yes, I can hear you.
I won't do that tonight, but I'm with you all the way.
Okay, all the way. $1 worth away, $10, $20. How far?
Right.
All right. And your name, please?
David Hall.
All right. David Hall, who's just gotten back from Chicago, and David has had a ball in Chicago. Thank you, David. Come on by and get your catfish. You know you love catfish. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and be sure and bring your father, who loves that catfish too. All of you catfish lovers, come on by. Thank you, David. All right. We are talking about Clara Luper's Day. I'm so proud of you. You know what really makes me happy, Lassie? Just for you to just smile at me. That is the most thrilling experience because you don't know what it means. But maybe you will when you get older. Just to have somebody to care enough about you to even smile at you. Well, I will be walking in the parade. The parade will be starting at exactly 10 o'clock, and I will be there because I want you to hear something while I'm away from this mic. But many of you have called me and asked me what did I think of the Republican convention, and I would like to tell you in one word, nothing. So many of you have asked me why I thought nothing of it. If you notice, now, it was something technical about that convention. It was something unusual about President Bush's speech. He didn't mention civil rights. Did you notice that? Oh, no, you didn't notice that. He didn't mention civil rights. Now, you can talk about foreign affairs all you want to. But if you have seen, and I don't think Bush has seen the people laying on the streets in Washington, D.C., I don't think Bush has seen the homeless in Washington, D.C., right in front of the White House. I don't think Bush has been to New York City, Detroit, and some of the major cities. I don't even believe that he realized what's happening at a place known as Jesus' house. I don't believe he realizes how many people are employed, and he says that we have brought jobs.
And Fluky says that it started at the Norman Naval School in 1943. Mr. Wilson, if that's true, you better keep it up, because we're getting closer to finding out how you can get that delicious tasting catfish, and that will be on sale at the Catfish Cafe at the State Fair of Oklahoma.
Somebody told me that he came from Calvin, Texas. Way down in Texas.
That's a good name.
But we don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe he will call us. Calvin, last night it was that big soul game at, I don't know whether it was at Douglas.
It was at Douglas.
Okay, it was at Douglas.
Anybody,
poor Douglas.
Anybody that was on the northeast side that can tell when Douglas is having a home game because of the noise and hearing the drums and the sheer volume, all the excitement.
All that's good.
But the game was good. You know, at Otwell's earlier in the day, I saw some young people walking around with little badges on that said, "Coming to the Soul Bowl," or the Soul Bowl, Douglas versus Millwood. So everybody was really hyped up for it, even though the outcome had been predetermined last Saturday. You must remember that yours truly had picked the winner.
You picked a winner. You said Douglas was going to win.
And Douglas did win. Who won. Douglas did win. Douglas won, I think the score was 18-13. Outstanding game with Douglas playing a heck of a job on defense, outstanding offensive line, outstanding offensive players. We're not going to call all their names now, but there are 3 players there that you will be hearing a lot about during the 1992 football season.
Who are the 3 that I'm going to hear about from Douglas?
Well, from Douglas, you're going to hear about a guy named Colson, a guy named Brawls, Mitch Brawls, a senior Mark Lyon, and those 3 will be, well, they're going to be some of the stars that are currently emerging from the Douglas Trojans ranks so far. But there was an outstanding game. Everybody was really excited, and looking forward to next Friday's game when Douglas will be playing Tulsa, Washington. The Langston Band will be here. Jim Crawley and everyone's all excited.
When is that?
That's next Friday at 7:30 at the Douglas Field, Moses F. Miller Stadium. And we're inviting everybody to come. There's some flyers out that tell a little more about it, but the big night will be Friday night. Get a chance to see that outstanding Langston Band, but you're going to see a great, great football game between 2 of the top-ranked teams in the state, and a long-time rivalry will finally come to this side of the turnpike. So I guess Oklahoma City will have the bragging rights all year.
Well, I will like to predict the winner for next week.
Okay, put your money where your mouth is.
Now, I'm not going to put any money down because I cannot afford to do. Okay, it's just an expression. Well, but on next week, I predict that Booker T. Washington in Tulsa, named after that great educator, Booker T. Washington, will win the game.
Well, Mom, once again, you made another mistake, because we know that the Douglas Trojans right here in Oklahoma City will be the winner of that. It's going to be a good game, but Douglas will win by at least 3 points.
But you've got to remember, Frederick Douglass's history was different from Booker T. Washington.
That's why Douglas will win by
Okay,
3 points.
We'll see.
Because of the tradition that comes with being a Trojan. That's worth 3 points against Booker T. Washington's peanut.
As we prepare for the big rally sponsored by the NACP Youth Council and Freedom Center on October the 12th, where Henry Roth Jr. will speak, remember that we are having a race. A race among these youth advisors, and their pictures you will see on the south wall, along with the Minutemen, along with the NACPers, along with a scene from Johnny Brown's where Roger, Count T, and a group of young people were seated in Wade's luncheonette. But the race is on, and let me tell you who all are running. You might want to help one of these runners. You might want to see one of these contestants win. They are Shadina Fowler, who is the president of the NACP Youth Council and who's working with all of the youth. Your choice might be Mrs. Barbara Smith, who has gotten in the NACP and who has done a terrific job. Your choice might be Cheryl Fowler, who is the associate director of the AXO program. Your choice might be Mrs. Leola Ford, who is the founder of the Blow Pop movement. Your choice might be Marilyn Hildred, one of the original sit-inners. And it could be Salonia Bennett with that strong voice. It could be Lady Ruth Hunter with all of her explanations. It could be Nancy Davis, who never quits. It could be the businesswoman, Gloria Matthews. It could be Calvin Luper as the winner of the race. Now, this is based upon not talk, and Calvin is full of talk, but the one that turns in the largest amount of money that will be, the final report will be made on October the 12th. And last but not least, by any means, Clara Luper. Once again, Clara Luper, Gloria Matthews, Nancy Davis, Lady Ruth Hunter, Barbara Smith, Salonia Bennett, Marilyn Hildred, Leola Ford, Calvin Luper, Cheryl Fowler, Barbara Smith, Maxine Stale, Robert Gates. I want you to just sit back and wait. Now, each one of the leaders had an opportunity to get them a team. Now, I got a team, and my team is out of sight. I got a quarterback, Robert Gates. I got a receiver, Nixon. I could go on down the line. Calvin, how does it look for you in this final race?
Oh, well, it looks great for me. You know, I'm not at all discouraged about anything because of the fact that I know that I have that extra burst of energy that will be needed to win this race. Now, you remember a couple of weeks ago, there was another family to call in and join the team. They wanted their own team. They didn't want to be a part of any of the existing teams. They made a point of saying that I want my own team, and they're going to be in the race. But see, funny thing about racing, you know, just because you start out fast and first does not necessarily mean that you're going to win the race.
Can we read that same story down in Hoffman about the rabbit and
the turtle, or
yeah,
the hare, or whatever.
Okay, we read that.
But then the turtle, what is a turtle?
A turtle.
A turtle, that's what it is. But then, see, I'm prepared now to make this sprint in time for the final celebration, for the grand dedication of the monument there at the Freedom Center, the Freedom Center Monument. And I'm so proud of the work that has gone on, so I'm not even worried about being second, third, or last, because I know that number one spot has got to be me.
Calvin, you have a lot of imagination. But when we look at that monument, I want you to look at a man named Earl Temple. Earl Temple's contribution to the civil rights movement has been overshadowed by others, yet he has been an engine behind the monument. Many of you will remember him as a quiet young man who was able to go into Anamords when they said blacks could not go there, who were able to walk in there because of the color of his skin and sit there and listen and come back and make a report. When they told us that they were not serving blacks, we pointed to the fact that you just served Mr. Earl Temple. And that's why in the closing weeks, John A. Brown hired someone to identify blacks. You know, it's very difficult to identify a black person. Mr. Temple, one of our most successful men, a man who put up money to get our people out of jail, especially during that sanitation strike. Oh, what a man. His picture will be on that monument. Children will be able to read his story. I'm proud of the fact that Ben Tipton will never be forgotten because his face will be on that monument. Cecil L. Williams' face will be on that monument. The black businessman, the man who went downtown and sat in all night long at Bishop's so somebody as black as I could eat in a restaurant anywhere. Yes, we cannot forget our heroes. They don't have to be great inventors, but they are the ones that made a difference in our lives. Do you appreciate them? Do you love them? Then prove it. Stop talking. Prove it. We call upon the black doctors, the black lawyers, the black business people, the black, and we call upon the whites because we are in this together. We are in it together. And by our placing a monument, 2609 North Martin Luther King, it will give you an opportunity to say thanks. So many people have called us about the stand that's been taken about our brothers that are Muslims, and we would certainly like to join with them because we believe that this community must take its own destiny in its own hand. Who cares about blacks killing blacks? Who cares? Well, the more blacks kill blacks, many have said, the more caskets will be sold. Is that what we want? We want to show love and respect. That's our history. That's our heritage. And that is something that must be. The Oklahoma City Muslim leader, Jamal Abdul Aziz of the temple, located at 1322 Northeast 23rd, was correct in declaring war on those that would destroy buildings. Now, can you imagine how hard it and how much work you need to do, and then somebody coming right on your building? Your building. Can you imagine somebody that's evil writing on buildings? And we ask you young people, if you want to write me a letter. Tell me what you're going to do with your life. Maybe we have not told you what to write on. Write on paper, write on blackboards or green boards. Write down the formula of how to square a binomial. Write down some of the theories of chemistry. Write, but don't write on buildings. Because the Muslim leader has made it plain that if you write on this building, this holy temple, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Now, we've got to be serious. We cannot play with these kids and talk about you are having hard times. I say that these young people today don't know what hard times are all about. Hard times. Wearing Nike clothes that's made at slave labor in another country, and our people are unemployed. We are unemployed because we haven't taken time to think. A lot of people buy foreign cars and then complain because they can't get a job at General Motors. This is Clara Luper. Mrs. Hunter. Will you talk just a little louder for me? Sure, I'm bragging. I can't hear you, lady. What? Again. In the rain and that catfish. Great. Well, you were one of the ones that voted to crown him as a catfish frying king. Right. Mrs. Hunter, we're nearing the end of raising money for our monument. And how do you feel now as we come to the closing race? Okay, you aren't coming through out here with something.
I don't know what to do. I'm just elated over that monument, and I can't hardly wait for the man to bring the balance of it and put it on the foundation that's waiting there for that monument to be placed. And I'm sure on that day, we'll have a lot of people coming just to the field. And I know the people who have been helping us are going to be there also. Yes, I dedicate.
Well, as it stands now, the dedicatory services will start in November the 6th, 7th, and 8th. There will be a big celebration also on the 9th. We are inviting all of the bands to come and participate and join us. That's November 6th, 7th, and 8th. We want the people that have given, whether you've given a dime, whether you have given $1, we want you to come. I know you were all smiling because your board president came up and brought you some money.
Yes, she did. President of Board of Education.
I mean, my board president.
Right, the president of the Board of Education. Why, that's my friend. Thelma is my friend. Every time I called and asked her for a donation, she gave it, and she came all the way up there. Brought her donation with her.
Well, you better hurry up and ask
all my other friends are doing.
Okay, you ask all your friends, but I'm going to ask my enemies. And I love my enemies because they tell me every week, Clara, I hate you. I said, great. I want you to hate me enough to send $1 on the monument. Lady, I'm about to run out of time out here, but I'll see you because I've got to Langston. Today is Parents' Day at Langston, and I urge all of you parents to join us. Tonight is that big game in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Langston University will be playing there.
About the sorority meeting, and I know that our sorority members would like to see you today. Because come on, stop by and say hello to us.
Okay, well, I will say hello to you, but I've got to get out to Langston University. Thank you, lady, and a special hello to the members of the Chi Zeta, chapter of Zeta Phi Beta sorority, who is starting their 1992-93 season. Bye now. Calvin, that was Lady. Lady says she's going through. Elite Repeat, 7308 to North Western in Oklahoma City. Now let's talk about an automobile. Let's talk about buying a Chrysler. When you get ready to buy a Chrysler, a Plymouth, or any deal, I want you to go to Crossroad Chrysler, located at I-240 and South Walker. The telephone number is 631-0303. You've been praying for the day that you would see a black man as the owner of a car dealership. That day has arrived. Mr. Frank Rucker is the owner, the manager of the Crossroad Chrysler and South Walker. Now, if you need your automobile service, it's no secret. They have the top service department in Oklahoma City. Crossroad Chrysler, I-240 and South Walker. Crossroad Chrysler, waiting to serve you. Now, talk is talk, but I want you to walk out. You drive on out there, trade your car in. If your credit is bad, they can work out a deal for you. That's at Crossroad Chrysler, I-240 and South Walker in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is a day that we are going to have to make decisions, and you young people are going to have to make decisions. Many of you have written me this week from jails and prisons. You've told me about your problems, and I certainly understand it. But my problem is a problem with you in selecting your company where you will get in a position where you have to go to jail. I want to appeal to you to stop stealing. If you're going to do anything, go back to the Bible. Now go back to your forefathers who wrote a song, Steal Away to Jesus. Don't go stealing no money. You can't spend it. Don't go stealing no tires and stealing somebody else's automobile. You don't need somebody else's automobile. Walking is good for you until you get a job and get you a car. Don't steal. And stop fighting and killing. You're talking about something. I want you to stop it. Let's move ahead. And you say, Clara Luper, people aren't paying you no attention. You're wrong. Somebody is listening. As I look at the clock on the wall now, I know I've got to say goodbye to you. But I will be